Hello, everyone, and welcome to this new Beyond the Stars. I'm Sophie from Maison Jupiter and from Beyond Mystic, and welcome. This week, I'm going to talk about ASHTON KUTCHER. I hope you have already, maybe not so much information, but already just a good position, opening your mind just to see, okay, what is it going to be? Because I was really surprised when I was doing my research. Trust me, I was really surprised, and I'm really excited to do the cards. I want to get to the bottom of a lot of questions. Well, a lot. We have a limited time, of course, but I want to get to the bottom of some question, and I'm going to ask Coco to just give me her question as I'm going along. Hi, Coco. Love you, Coco. And yes, she's always in the background like an angel. So thank you so much for being there. Before I start, if you want to book with me, you can book at maisonjupiter.com. There is the 10% coupon code Beyond Mystic in one word. And some people in consultation ask me, how do I book for past life? How do I book for tarot in particular? It's all in one place. It's all in the red square that you see. It says 1 hour personal reading. It's all the same because I will adjust with your needs every session. So just go on maisonjupiter.com and you will be able to select your time with me. It's the personal reading right there. And also, if you're not part already of this amazing tribe, just consider joining and also like and sharing the videos on Beyond Mystic. It's Jean-Claude Beyond Mystic 3 on YouTube. Let's start. So, oh yes, before I start, I know it's going to be a pretty dark topic. I'm just going to say it up front. I think it's going to be very dark. So before I go too dark, I'm just going to say that right away. If you want to learn more about how to get a best vibration, if you want to know more about manifesting or any other topic that are good vibrational, you have to go on the academy. It's beyondmystic.academy, and this is where you find a lot of new course, a lot of new knowledge that you can work on yourself with, and you can learn so much on high vibration. So it said, now I'm going to deep dive on this topic of ASHTON KUTCHER, and feel free to listen, skips if you think it's too dark. I'm just going to say it's going to be dark. So let's grab a good deck to start with this topic. I don't have any really dark deck anymore. So let me see. I'm just going to take this one for today. And I don't have my camera for the cards. Something is really wrong with it. I'm sorry, guys. I will have to buy a new setup. It's like Mercury retrograde. Everything that can go wrong goes wrong with it. I don't know. It feels like it's possessed. So I will just find a new way of showing my cards and a new setup, I promise. But for today, I will do like last week. It works well. I'm going to show you the cards as I'm going along with me on the screen. So before I am getting into information about ASHTON KUTCHER, let's just see his current and main energy. So let's take 3 cards about this and seeing his main and current energy at the moment as we speak. Let's see, 3 cards. First card is there. Let's take 2 more. 1 more, please. Wow. Okay. So the 3 cards are right there. We have 5 of Cups. We have 3 of Wands. And we have the Death card. So I'm going to take 1 last card to just explain the Death card. I get already what it's talking about. I just want to get more information on this, so I'm really clear on which part is ending in his life. 6 of Swords. Okay, so 5 of Cups indicates that in the past there was a lot of sadness. There was a lot of insecurities. He is a deeply insecure person. I'm surprised to see that, but it makes sense. He's really insecure. He is always searching for fun time, always searching for ways to ease his pain. I took 1 clarity card. It says Temperance cards. So the Temperance is vacation. It's also easing your pain. It's also everything is soft. So I'm thinking mommy issue right with those cards right away. I'm thinking that a woman in his life has a role for him, for his needs to suit him and to reassure him. He needs a lot of reassurance. That's surprising for me. Let me know in the comment if this is surprising for you too, because Yeah, that's strange. And this is in a past position because it's the first card. But I did ask about his main current energy. That means that it's still there. It's from the past, but it's still there. It's still active. Next, we have the Three of Wands. I'm just going to take one more for this. We have Seven of Wands. So Wands and Wands, there is a lot of energy. So we see him as very, very energetic in general. It comes off a bit immature, even. Three of Wands and Seven of Wands, it's keeping people at bay. So because we just had the card that indicate that he is really insecure, having those cards now, the distant card, and pushing people away with this card is defense mechanisms, it shows me that this person is really, really keeping people at bay, so you don't see who he's truly. It's really, really not good, not healthy. At his age, to still react this way, it's really immature. Let's see the last cards in his current energy. We have the Death card and we have Six of Swords. So Six of Swords is moving out of troubled water. We have an ending. What just did end? We have Ace of Cup. I'm just scanning his energy right now with this. I would be surprised if his relationship is going well. I'm not seeing the ending with his current relationship, but something really, really changed in his life. And you're going to see with the information that I got, what just happened. And it's many major events, but one that is recent. So this big ending in his life and trying to move out of troubled water, troubled water means that we're going to see him less in the public eye, less in movies for a certain time at least. And we have a lot of problem now in his relationship because of what just happened. So before I say too much, that's super interesting. Thank you, cards. So before I say too much, I'm going to now start from the beginning of his life and just as we go along, give you the information that I was able to get. And I will say right away, allegedly, because I had to dig in many different places to not get just the mainstream information. So just add allegedly for all the video. That is many, many source. And I think that's important to get many, many source. So yeah, allegedly. So with that being said, Ashton Kutcher is known for being an actor, a director, a screenwriter, a presenter, and an investor, a big investor. So I didn't know that. He's investing in high tech mainly. So his real name is Christopher Ashton Kutcher. It didn't really change a lot of his name. He was born in Cedar Rapids in Iowa, born February the 7th, 1978. Important to know that many people says that it's not true. It would actually be born on 74. It's not worth doing the cards for this. I don't think it's a big impact, but you start to see if he lies about this, what else is there? And open your mind, I'm telling you. He does have a twin brother. He has a sister too. The twin brother had, still has cerebral palsy, and he was needed of a heart transplant very early on. It was always a concern for his health, and Ashton Kutcher apparently said that he was trying to get out of the house as much as possible to not go back there and see that the brother was even dead or having a lot of trouble with his health. So he was trying to be away from home as much as possible. When he was 16, his parents divorced, and he started being a troublemaker. In high school, he tried to steal stuff, and the police caught him, the cops got him, and he had 3 years of probation and a lot of community service hours that he had needed to do. In 1996, he started a university in biochemistry in Iowa University. He had no money at the time, so he had to work in the same time. And apparently he also went for a donation of bloods where he received money doing that. During that time in the university, I think he just stayed there a year, to be honest, because you're going to see with the timeline, it switched fast. During his time at the university, he went to a bar where there was a modeling scout, and the modeling scout did a contest. he easily won. He's a pretty guy, so he easily won, and he dropped out of university to just follow his he took a chance on his modeling career. He went to New York, and apparently he got contract with Versace and with Calvin Klein. So he did pretty good. He did pretty good. His real dream was to be an actor, so he went to LA. And in 1998, he got the part in That 70 Shows. That's where mainly most people will know him from. It's That 70 Shows. He played Kelso. Later on, he will have also the role of Punk'd that he will be doing gags on his themes. So every actor, singer that you would like at the time, he will do pranks on them, and that would be his show Punk'd. You have to know that during the time he did That 70 Shows, Mila Kunis was with him, and she was 14 at the time in the first season. She was only 14. She was a kid. So she apparently lied to be able to get the role. She looked like a kid. So she apparently said that she was 18. The producer were looking for a girl that was 18 but looking young. Why? Because at 18, apparently you were able to do long hours on the set, and that's what they were looking for. So she's basically lied and got the part, but they learned early on that she was only 14. They still write her in the script as kissing a lot of guys, and that was her first kiss ever on the screen with Ashton Kutcher. Really early on, the trouble starts because the guys on set, so Ashton Kutcher and Danny Masterson that plays, I never remember his name. I think it's Hyde in the show. Yeah, it's Stephen Hyde in the show. So very early on, they play with her naivete, and in interviews, Ashton Kutcher asked her to sit on him, and they also have this. I don't think it's a joke, but apparently it was a joke where Danny, who plays Hyde, asked Ashton Kutcher to basically give him like $10 or $20, something like that, to put the tongue when they kissed for the first time, for her first time. Instead of making her feel comfortable on set, they just always remind her that she's really sexy as 14. So let's ask the card, because you're going to see in all of this that this is a pretty good question. What was their vision of Mila? I'm just going to ask for Ashton, because this is the main concern here today. So what was Ashton's image and views on Mila, his vision on Mila during the 70s shows? Okay. Interesting. So we have 5 of Wands. This is the internal conflict. So we have a conflict internally. We have 7 of Swords. So I think he was seeing someone in his life, in his romantic life, and he had a lot of problem to not flirt with Mila during that time. The age doesn't matter, apparently. We have the Judgment, which would be the judgment of others if he did something officially with Mila. So we have the next card that, honestly, I should not be surprised, but I'm kind of surprised. I did not think it would be that far. We have the Secret with the High Priestess. We have the Knight of Cups right there. And we have Ace of Swords, which means that they were secretly seeing each other during the season of That 70 Shows while he was probably seeing somebody else. So they kept it a secret to not have repercussion from judgment of others, but she was 14, guys. She was 14. He was 20. So interesting. Very interesting. Let's continue. His first high-profile girlfriend was Brittany Murphy. If you did not see my Beyond the Stars with Brittany Murphy, it's really, really interesting case. We consider watching it because it's really something. So his first high-profile girlfriend was Brittany Murphy, and in 2003 started to date Demi Moore, if you have forgotten about this. She just was out of a divorce with Bruce Willis. It was really, really recent, and they started dating. Demi Moore, you need to know that she was sober for 20 years, and she was doing good with this, but the age difference, if you read her book, because she wrote a book, I didn't know that. She wrote a book. You can see her on the screen with her book. It says it's Inside Out. So in that book, you can learn that she was doing pretty good with her sobriety, but unfortunately dating and later on marrying a guy that was a huge age gap. With that kind of personality, I would add, because not all guys are the same. He basically pushed her to give up her sobriety to be able to drink wine with her, to party with her, do shooters with her. And she did. She did because I think she didn't want to be seen as maybe just bored, or I don't know. She didn't want to have the grandma image, I think. So basically, she just gave up 20 years of sobriety for him. And every time that she was not able to just manage and just do half a bottle of wine and then the next day sober, she was unable to. That's a disease, guys. So whenever she was not able to control her drinking or drugs, he was always telling her that it was wrong, and they would have horrible fights about this. So that's all in her book. If you are interested to know more about her vision of the story, this is Inside Out from Demi Moore. During that time, he filmed a movie called Butterfly Effect, really interesting movie in which he invested his own money and produced the movie. So he started to take a more active role in Hollywood. In the movie Guess Who, not really known movie, but really interesting what I'm going to say about this, because it starts to go bad. In the movie Guess Who, he refused to remove his bracelet, not just a bracelet, but the Cabala bracelet. He refused to remove it for the movie. So apparently the filmmaker had to spend an extra $100,000 to remove from every frame that bracelet from the movie because he refused to remove it. Yeah, it starts to go bad. Demi and KUTCHER attended the Philipsburg Cabala Center. So I'm not going to say more. You know what I'm saying here. We're on YouTube, but yeah. Demi Moore got pregnant early on in their relationship, and apparently she lost the baby after 6 months of pregnancy. They tried to have others. They tried to fertility treatment for her to be pregnant again. It was not successful, unfortunately. They got married in 2005 with the Cabala Center, or at the Cabala Center, of course. I always love how I'm butcher the English. you have to appreciate that part. Okay, so she sued him for infidelity and asked millions and millions and millions for infidelity. They were able to find an agreement in court about this because he was really, really unfaithful at the end. That was not even a joke. One time that he was unfaithful, somebody called her and said, well, I have proof that he isn't faithful. And she confronted him on the phone, and he just didn't deny it. He just said, yes, that's true. The same day, they had to attend a very public event for their new charity, the Torn Charity. The Torn Charity, I will have to really say that in a way that YouTube let me say it, but it's basically a charity against children. Yeah, bees and flowers trafficking. So wink, wink. Okay, so is supposed to create that charity with Demi Moore to defend children from, yeah, okay, you know what I'm saying. If you don't know what I'm saying, just type Torn online and you will see it. You can see it on the screen. Real men don't buy girls. Yeah, well, yeah. Not sure he's the right person to be in that place, but that's just me. So that same day, just going back to the story, that same day that she learned and she confronted him and he said, yes, I'm unfaithful. Yes, I did that. They had to go publicly and they had to make basically, they had to just talk with the public and the press, basically making a speech. You can see that video is still online. You can see her really, really not happy about what it was going on. And when you learn what was happening that day, you understand it more. But when she does that speech, she does the speech saying real men are making you feel safe, making you feel love, and those things that he was not doing. So really, really interesting and heartbreaking when you know the story, of course. Apparently, she went to the psych wards after that traumatic divorce. She needed to just gain her balance back. And also, apparently, he was also dating Mila Kunis already. So Mila Kunis is is the partner in that 70 shows, the one I was 14. And I really now believe, because of the car that they were dating and during that time, I really believe that they had love all those time, but he was probably not taking her seriously in the beginning because she was super young and didn't want to have backsplash. What am I saying? He didn't want to have consequences. Better word. Don't go wild with your word when you don't master a language, Sophie. Okay. He didn't want to have consequences from dating a 14 years old. That's understandable. I completely forgot about this, but Ashton Kutcher during that time did a movie about Steve Jobs. I didn't watch that. Write down if you watch it, if it's good, if it's any good. Apparently, it had mixed reviews. So let me know what you think about that job movie. Mila was pregnant really early on in their relationship, and Asher had a lot of fun apparently to just torture Demi more about this. Yeah. But always good, because apparently, well, not apparently, it's really, you can see it online. In interviews, he was calling himself an asshole, and he was saying that nobody at the time was able to say no to him, and he had too much success. So he said publicly, I was an asshole for many years because nobody was able to just say to me, basically, you just reflect a healthy image of himself. He just had people that were just saying yes, 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 yes to him, whatever he was saying, asking, or doing. And nobody was able to just say, this is not normal. You should not do that. So apparently Mila did that when they started to date. Apparently she said to him, you're an asshole. This is not good. And apparently he changed his ways. That's him telling the story. So I don't know how much is true about this. So going back to investment, he invested in Uber, Spotify, and Shazam, and his money is worth apparently 200 million, and he gave 30 million to Ukraine refugees. So let's see now. Is he protected by the Cabal? I want to see. I will take 3 cards. Is he protected by the Cabal? And this is something to keep in mind after, because it's not done. We're going down and down. 3 cards, please. Is he protected by the Cabal? Oh, yeah, absolutely it is. So in the past, they needed proof. In the past, they tested him. They needed proof. So that's super interesting that we got that. I never thought about this, but yeah, they tested him. So he had to had initiation. He had to have tasks that were really makes so much sense with what is to come. Okay, keep that in mind. He had to prove himself. Yeah. Next thing, we have the wall. He was protected. Yeah, absolutely. We have the wall. He was protected. And we have the 3 of Pentacles. Not only is he protected, but he has to protect others. Keep that also in mind. I think I will just keep those cards there, because you know what? This is exactly the confirmation I needed to have for what is to come. Let's get into the heavy stuff. Okay, so we had already heavy stuff, but this is just next step. At one point, he was dating a girl, and apparently, his version, I will say his version first. Apparently, he went to get her for a date, knocked or whatever on the door, no answer. He apparently looked through the window. He saw on the carpet a red wine stain. So he assumed she was partying or something. She was not there. All is good in the world. He just left, and a few days later, he got a call that she was found dead, and apparently he asked the police or whoever, lawyer, whatever, what happened if my fingerprints are inside the crime scene? Okay, that's his version. Fine, fine. So he was a key witness in a murder trial. Okay, good, good. Later on, so this is where I have to say allegedly, 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 but just apply that for the rest of the video also. Informations came in from someone in the Scientology and others sources saying that he changed his version later on, saying that he did go in the house and he saw his date, girlfriend, whatever, dead. And instead of calling 911 as a good Hollywood Cabal person, he instead called his manager and Danny Masterson, who played Hyde in that 70s shows, who is basically his best friend and mentor and yeah, role model. So apparently he called them instead of 911. What happened after is that he just left, he pretend everything is good, and this murderer is not, they're not able to just put him in jail. They're not having enough proof. They're not having enough to just say, yeah, it's him, we're cleared, timeline works, we're good. No. So this murderer killed other people before people could stop him. Yeah, exactly. That's not stopping there, guys. We have more. Okay, Danny, that same guy that I just talked about, was hired by ASHTON to do a new show called The Ranch on Netflix. And when ASHTON was filming that new show with Danny, he received a phone call saying you have to fire Danny because Danny was just had 3 accusations. 3 women stepped forward accusing him of not consensual lovemaking. That's the new way of saying that. And his response was apparently that crazy FB. Okay, FB. So that was not like, oh my God, what just happened? Oh my God, let's talk about this, or whatever else could have been a good answer or a better answer. No, that was those women. So he had to cancel the show. The show was canceled. The ranch was canceled. He lost tons of money because of this. And that 70 shows was not picked by Netflix. So Mila and ASHTON lost money about this. I get that part, but you are aware that you are in charge of a charity that is about victims with this kind of problems, and that you're not responding in a healthy and normal way to those victims, whatever their age. Not only Danny was found guilty of 2 of those 3 crimes, but ASHTON Kutcher and Mila Kunis sent a letter after they were found guilty to defend him, to defend Danny. And this is really out of respect for the victims. So they were not aware that this letter would be public. They did that behind closed doors. That shows the true character. Coco just sent me a question. What was that a Cabal initiation for ASHTON to protect Danny? Absolutely. I'm going back, and I will do cards about this. I'm going back to this card, protecting others. So let's see. I want to check 2 things. I want to check if that girlfriend of his was the initiation for him, to see his reaction. And I want to check after, protecting Danny, was that the way to stay in this protection program, let's say it is. So starting with the girlfriend, I'm just going to ask, is that the initiation? Yeah. Oh my God, yes. Okay, so we have anxiety. So he was put in a really, really stressful, oh my God, yeah. Okay, he was put in a very stressful position. You can see that card. I'm not going to comment on this. We're on YouTube, but you can see it by your own eyes. You can see, I'm sure, what it looked like when he was in that room. And now we have proving yourself, learning, the student working on something. And it's the same card as earlier for the protection. So it's a yes. And afterward, it says conflicted. And we have the destiny card with the Wheel of Fortune. So that means that at that point, yes, it was conflicted, but it did what he needed to be, what needed to be done to be in for his destiny, for everything, and he kept the secret. Oh my God! Oh my God! That was the initiation. I'm sure there was others. I'm feeling that there was others. Yeah, I had the death card just showing up. Let's see for your question, Coco. Thank you for your question. It says the protection of Demi was that another initiation. I think it's not the initiation. I think it's the proof for staying there. It's like a monthly payment, like if you will. Let's see. Was that part? Maybe not, but let's see. Was that part of staying in the Cabal? Yeah. The first card is already enough. It's 6 of coins. You can see this man giving coins to others. So when you are in need, you are taking the coins like he did when he was in need. And when you're not in need, you need to give to others for the balance. So you need to protect others. This is a big yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So this is what is happening. So let me know what you think about him. Let me see if I have any other things to say about him. I think we're done for him. Yeah, we're done for him, thankfully. Old cases that are similar. I did not find the exact same thing because, guys, we had 3 major things in there. We had being unfaithful to Demi Moore. Old Hollywood. I would have a hard time to find a guy in old Hollywood that was not unfaithful, to be honest. So I will not try to find the exact same replica in old Hollywood. We don't have 2 months nonstop to do this show. Okay, so skipping that part. What else? We did have supporting a friend in a really weird trial. So we have two people there that could be fitting that. We do have. Yeah, thank you, Coco. She just said we're going to need to sage. Absolutely, we need to sage after this. Please sage. So going back to the trial, we have 2. So Charlie Chaplin, and I'm going to grab my notes for this. That is really, really interesting. I didn't know about this for Charlie Chaplin. Charlie Chaplin in 1922, he had a trial involving Charlie Chaplin. So yes, he had a trial. He faced allegation of violating the Mann Act, so MANN Act. It's the White Slave Traffic Act. Due to his relationship to the actress Joan Barry, Chaplin friends, the fellow actor, so it's very similar, Douglas Fairbanks supported him during the trial. Okay, so probably knowing that Charlie Chaplin was probably really guilty, probably knowing. Despite Fairbanks' defense, Chaplin was eventually found guilty in a civil suit relating to the paternity claims leading to the scandal and affecting his personal life and his career. Well, the fellow actor Fairbanks did not have any consequences, so not really similar. I did not find any similar case where the person who was defending their friend in a court case had consequences. So this is new. Let me know in a comment if you find a similar case that the person defending their friend had consequences, because that's super surprising for me that Ashton Kutcher would be the first one in Hollywood to have this kind of reaction from the public. So I said two similar cases. That's the first one. The second one is Natalie Wood death. Lots of people have requested Beyond Stars for Natalie Wood. It's coming. Don't worry. I love that. But yeah, so if you don't know, we do have her on a boat and that passed in a weird circumstances, and 2 people on board, her husband, Robert Wagner, and Christopher Walken, the actor. I mean, if something weird were to happen in her passing, those 2 guys has to support each other in court, and they had to have their story straight together for sure. But yet, again, we don't have consequences for either of them. So I don't find any in old Hollywood that had consequences. Let me know, like I was saying, if we do have a similar case that I'm not aware of, but I was unable to find it. Men especially in Hollywood, were really, really protected. And also the vision of men being any kind of violence towards women were not the same views as we have today. So let me know if you find anything. That was it for today. Thank you so much for joining me in this discovery or rediscovery of Ashton Kutcher and everything that is really dark with Hollywood. Let me know if you have more on him. I always love to read your comment. You can book at Maison Jupiter for a personal reading with me. And before you go, please consider like, share, and subscribe to Beyond Mystic Tree YouTube channel. Love you guys. Don't forget to sage now. You need to sage. Love you. Bye-bye.